On the Obsolete Gamer Show, we're happy to have Karolina Kuzia. That's right, right?
Kuzia?
Kuzia.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kuzia.
All right. And we're gonna be talking about Seven: The Long Days Gone, and it's really cool because I like the type of style that this does, the isometric style, and also the stealth style. And one of the things that it got a lot of praise at PAX East, but just tell me, what was it like just, going to PAX East? Because with E3 coming out, people talk about the difference between PAX East and E3, just having that style where a lot of gamers come and it's more, personal. You have a lot more gamers. What was it like having people come and play the game and give it so many good reviews? Because a lot of people really like it.
Well, to clarify, I was not present at
Okay.
PAX East, but from our team members, I heard that the vibe was really positive, and we really wanted to check how people will react on our game, because this is our first product. We are experienced in the game dev market and so on. But this is our first own game, and we really wanted to see how people react to it. So I can say that they were really excited, and we are really excited too. And we got a lot of useful feedback, and we will of course use it to make our game even better. But we were not expecting that scale of a feedback actually. So I would like to thank everybody that played a game and left the comment for us, because this will be really useful in the future.
So you guys, like right now, you're in Poland?
Yep.
Yeah, so see, that's cool. One of the things with Obsolete Gamer, we've been able to talk to a lot of different people all over the world. Um, what is the gaming scene like in Poland? Because I've never got to speak to game devs or people in Poland. Like, what could you tell us about the gaming scene or like gamers out there?
Well, first of all, we have really many companies here in Poland, and I'm sure you heard about some of the biggest one, like CD Projekt with The Witcher and Techland, and many others like People Can Fly or Flying Wild Hog. So these are the companies that are based mostly in Warsaw,
Hmm.
and they hire a lot of people to work on their games. So they are huge players here. But I was counting recently how many companies we have here in Poland, and it was like around 72, including AAAs and indies developers and so on. So it's kind of many developers here. But they are spread across whole Poland. Here, we are based in Bielsko-Biała, which is like near the border with Czech Republic. It's in the south of Poland. Bielsko is a small city. It's like um, I'm not sure about the population right now, but it's really small. And we are so far one of the two game dev companies here. So in the south of Poland, there are not too many of them. The nearest biggest city, big city, is Katowice. And in Katowice, you can find some of the companies that hire many people to work on the games. But here in the south, it's only us and one other company. So most of the companies are based in Warsaw and some big cities like Kraków or Wrocław. But beside the big cities, it's not so popular to work in game dev.
Yeah, and you guys actually at Fool's Theory, you have some of the people from Witcher that came over and worked on working on this game too. So that's really cool. You guys have experience and all that working on this.
Well, there are two people,
Hmm.
including me and head of the Full Theory studio, Jakub Rokosz. But we also hired people from other projects based in Warsaw. So, of course, they share their experience with us, and it helps us a lot, actually. The experience helps a lot.
So as far as Seven itself, I really like the style of having like the stealth. And for people that are not, familiar with like the isometric, think like Neverwinter Nights, Diablo. you have like that top kind of side looking style. And then it's also stealth because I mean, you have the RPG style where you have the story driven, you also have gear, you have like the combat, things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about the story? Like, I know that you're playing the role of a master thief. You have the sandbox style, so you can travel around the sandbox. You have parkour, meaning like you can climb around on things. You're not really trapped in one spot. I really like that because a lot of games you look like you can climb up on something, but you really can't. Here you can climb up on things. But can you give us a little bit about the world in Seven?
Yep. So once the civilization was really powerful, and then the people lost it. So something happened, and they returned to Middle Ages. So that's where we are now in Middle Ages, and there is this advanced technology surrounding people all the time. And there was this guy, Drugun, who saw the potential in excavating and using the technology. So he built his power on it, and he founded the greatest power there is in this present world, which is the Vetral Empire. So the Vetral Empire is everything, and everything belongs to Vetral Empire. And Pech, which is name of the island where game takes place, is kind of prison colony. So let's think about it as of Australia, maybe. Of course, it was really neglected island at the end of the world, but then something happened, and Vetral saw a potential in being here. So they just invaded it. They took everything. They told farmers that were living there that, well, you now belong to the empire and you are really indebted. So you need to work for that. And Pech consists of two kinds of people. There are slaves who are like the prisoners sent to Pech to work their debt out, and free people who are really rich and they pay for for being there, actually for working for the empire and maybe to make some profit, but that's questionable actually. So that's when we start our demo when you are sent to the colony, and you have a specific task here. But first of all, you need to find out how the rules work here. What are you allowed and not allowed to do as a prisoner, because you are a prisoner, and many of your fellow prisoners, well, they committed some crime or not. They maybe just crossed somebody powerful, but now you are here and you need to survive.
Yeah, and it's really cool because they talk about the classless RPG because I mean you're a thief, but you're not just set to like the thief rule. Like you can do different things. In the fighting, like they talked about in the demo, that you have different combos that you can do. But since I didn't get to play it myself, can you tell us? Is there more that you'll be able to do in the fighting beyond just combos? Like, will there be more weapons, more different fighting styles that you'll be able to do later on in the game?
Yep. So first of all, you are a thief, so you can go into the close combat with many opponents, but you are not a war machine, right? So it should be difficult for you.
Hmm.
We have like short weapons, like wide weapons, and of course the ranged weapons. So we have like the close combat and range combat here, but also we will be able to use magic,
Ah,
and there will be few kinds of magic, as I can say for now, and the magic will be really based on the world, so it will be well connected to the shape of the world, and you will be able to use some tricks to help you survive.
yeah, and I saw that as far as the magic, you also have like techno magic. So there's items that you can use that, it's not the inner magic, but it's like one-use weapons that do kind of like magic.
Yeah, and it's strongly connected to one of the fractions, because under the Emperor there are two main fractions: technomages and biomancers. So first of all, technomages are like regular army. You need to conquer something, you send the technomages in because they're like heavy tanks, right? And they can use technology, which belongs to them, which belongs to Drogon. So their weapons are really powerful, and their armors can take a lot of damage and so on. So they are like elite and only soldiers they are. And on the other hand, biomancers are some mix between church and the hospital, actually.
Hmm.
So they refer to Drugun as the source of the religion, and people come to them for the guidance and so on. They are kind of preachers, but on the other hand, they are able to heal people. Sorry, but for a very high price. And this techno magic is based on technology possessed by technomancers, basically.
Now, you also can have different gear. So you can have stealth gear, so you can go around and be more thief-like. But then you can also put on gear for defense. I also saw that even though there isn't that much information yet, I know you probably can't reveal stuff. There may even be crafting. Do you know if there's a little bit more information on that, or is it still in the works?
Well, it's still in the works, but I can say there will be crafting,
Awesome.
because because we are a thief guy, right? So you steal a lot of loot, and then you need to do something with it. So we are still working on it, but I can say for now that there will be no colorful indicators like we know from Diablo and so on. So the yellow and purple and blue items are better than not colorful items. So there will be no such thing here. And we like this rule that one man's trash is another man's treasure. So you will have to decide on your own which is useful in this very particular moment for you. Because it doesn't mean that if you can't use this glass bottle right now, it won't be useful in the future.
And that makes sense. And
Yeah.
another thing that's really cool that I was seeing about the stealth aspect was that when you're sneaking around, like the weather, the time of day, all that can hinder, which really makes the whole stealth aspect even more intricate. Because if the sun's out, obviously you can't sneak around. If it's raining, it changes, and even things like the trees, the leaves can affect how the guards see you. Can you tell us a little bit like how that works, like the weather effects, things like that?
So first of all, let's divide it into two groups.
Hmm.
We have day and night system, which affects sight of NPCs, and then we have the weather system, which affects the hearing of the NPCs. So it's self-explanatory, right? So during the day they see you better, and during the night they see you worse. But according the weather system, when it rains, oh, and of course we have some weather seasons. So we have this dry season and wet season, like in the real world, right? So in the wet season, there is not so much rain, but in sorry, in the dry season, but in the wet season, the rain falls almost all the time, with like short intervals only between. And when it rains, first of all, puddles occur. So when you
Right.
step into a puddle, it's really easy to hear you. It's easier to hear you than outside of the puddle. But also when it rains, people hear you less. So the rains dampens the hearing of the NPCs, and it's easier to hide and sneak by.
So as far as character progression in RPGs, you can add things like your strength and things like that. How will the character progress in 7?
Well, we are still working on it. So there will be a possibility to improve your statistics, but that's kind of too early to talk about it right now.
Oh, okay. And I know that overall we're looking at like 10 hours of campaign, and then of course there's side quest, and then you guys are going to continue adding things. So I guess in adding there'll be like more side quests, more stories that you guys will add into the future.
Yep. So we plan the main story to be like 10 hours long, more
Hmm.
or less. But this is open world, right? So there will be a lot of stuff hidden for players who really like to look around and dig for stuff and so on. So I don't know how much time will it take to fulfill everything, every task there is, but yes, with the main story and additional stuff, I hope it will be more than 10 hours.
Awesome. And I guess the most important thing, I know that some people speculate it could be later this year, maybe 2017. When can we hope to maybe see 7 come out?
When it's done, actually.
Yeah, that's the ultimate. When it's finished, when it's ready.
Yeah, when it's finished, when it's sorry, really enigmatic, but we haven't decided yet.
Okay, well, I mean, it looks cool. Almost every time, well, pretty much every time I see anyone talk about it, because I looked on many sites, everyone's saying, "Hey, this looks cool." Especially people that like that style, they're hammering for it. They like that style. They like the way it looks. They like the art. Everyone that's got a chance to see it, people that went to PAX, they like it. So I mean, this looks interesting. I wish I could have went out there and play it because that looks cool. I want to get my hands on it. So I can't wait to try it out. It looks really good. And thanks, Carolina, for coming on and talking to us about it.
It was great talking to you. Thank you.